examine it and see if I want to steal it first. It's just common courtesy as a victim of theft.
Yeah. I thought we didn't care that I stole from you before.
This very first sentence of this next paragraph reads like it is a bad lip reading sentence from start to finish.
Oh no.
I told him there'd be Persian cats physically installed against every wall in my apartment, and he shook like a wheelbarrow fish.
What are you? Mist. Fire dragon. Use white breath.
Which slows you.
Yes. Why does a fire dragon have white
Ice
breath?
attacks.
Alright, I need to use my strongest move. Because apparently breath is immune to blind. White breeze. Oh, it healed him of poison? This guy's a dick! Whatever, I'll poison you again.
Which was enough to kill him as well.
Ow!
Now he's gonna come and punch you in the butt a bunch.
So rude. Ow, my butt!
Yeah.
Ow, oh, no, that wasn't my butt. Alright,
Yeah,
I'm back at normal speed, so I'll kick a demon in the jaw.
He's gonna smack the cloaca until it's undoable anymore. And he shook like a wheelbarrow fish. Certainly his eyes were wet, but agreeably so. He looked less like he'd been crying than if he'd been swimming in salt water and was sad he had to towel off.
Blind Miss Talons. That doesn't sound bad either.
Unless they blind you.
In which case they do sound bad.
On our second date, we went to a cafe in Greenwich Village, where we shared a joint and a sorority wink.
Oh, you stole my SP. That's mean.
When he kissed me, his mouth was full of smoke, and his eyes were visible in his head.
Oh no.
He slid his arm around my body, and I was lost in my desire to become a priest, but I felt God in his arms. And in that moment, I chose my own struggles. One night, months later, we stopped for gas. Okay. And he apologized profusely for all the shouting matches he'd had with my bichon frise, Morris, a dog. His voice cut into my ears like a warrior's mighty punch. He said maybe it's finally time to read books about Gloucester. I listened harder, hoping to hear something about coyotes. His dad was a government guy who couldn't keep on trucking and had to sit down every few minutes. I loved that.
I love that.
I thought about how his chest was an old English teacher and I wanted to kiss it. What?
You're kind of struggling. Alright, demons are annoying. He's not actually hurting me much, but he's stealing all my SP.
I wasn't sure what was happening. My parents hated him. My friends hated him. I hated him. But his wife was cool. So we kept on dating. What?
That's how dating works.
I mean, I guess if they were married, she's calling herself cool, maybe? I don't know.
I kept dating him because I'm cool.
Nope, they're not married because the next sentence. Dearest, let's get married and start a family of fiercely independent goats. He offered one day.
Was he a goat?
Maybe she's a furry, I don't know, I don't care. He said nothing about coyotes playing in the desert, but I could easily imagine that he had, so I just looked past it. My heart swelled over my hip bones and spilled heavily on my lap as I gave my answer. Yes, I think I have to marry you so that I can join a big successful union in the future.
Oh god, it's a monster host.
Did you hear me?
Yes. I need something really amazing.
I mean, you can slow one
Freeze.
enemy.
This isn't worth the freeze.
Especially because they're all fire types.
So I guess let's fight until I can't anymore, and then I'm going to run away. Oh god.
That was quick.
I have a bunch of potions. Oh, not a lot, but I have potions.
I was more talking about the fact that you should have probably gone to a place where you couldn't get cornered by three of them, just in case they had ranged attacks. That's the scariest guy.
The dragon?
Yeah.
Alright, I can still hit him. Oh, I'm silenced, so nobody can't. I'll have a cure for silence.
You just have to get the distance to make use of it.
No, I'm just rolling until it wears off, but whatever. Why don't kick a dragon a bunch? Screw you! Hey there, crits.
Wait, do they just keep spawning everywhere?
No. Oh god, you died. They're weak against blindness? Oh. Ow, sorry. Here, you can have this. Alright. He still took the damage, so it was worth it.
You might want to drink a potion. Because he can use breath still.
I'm low on how many points it's worth, I suppose. She's looking at free breathing at me. Oh, okay. You can die.
I think that was all of them.
No, I doubt it. There's treasure.
Oh, there's also a demon. No room to carry confused.
Sorry, demon.
Oh, there's traps too.
It's a monster house.
I don't remember traps being common in monster houses. Because trap houses were separate in the Pokemon.
Just send me a steel. Take this stuff.
Confuse. Blind. Now you can fuse that with the other one, can't you? Or wait, did you use it all? That's right, you read the last one.
Whatever, I'm just gonna beat this guy up. Quickly. Not quickly enough. Ouch. Oh, I hate that. It's so rude. So much.
Cheap shot.
And there's not a lot you can do about it. At least the dragons aren't that durable for some reason. Goodbye.
Okay, good.
Crits happen a lot.
You might need a potion.
The last one, so should I steal some and leave soon? I'm getting this loot. Oh, hunger traps. This is a... Ooh.
So here's where, my heart swelled over my hip bones as and spilled heavily on my lap as I gave my answer. Yes, I think I have to marry you so that I can join a big successful union in the future. We got married in a room with a priest and many people named Lauren.
Oh, marriage is weird.
We got married in a room with a priest and many people named Lauren. The church was made of wood and wood.
Papers made from wood, trees, paper.
The priest didn't protect my purity, but he did give me a magic ring that symbolizes rowdy marriage.
Good for him. Like a wiggly drink.
Did you just drop a bunch of junk or something?
No,
Just can't carry that.
it's...
You're fully healed.
I'm out of potions, though. And he thinks you are strong enough that stealing is dangerous, so you should be ready to leave. This place is deep.
You could say our wedding was like a billiards game. I put him in the corner pocket for our vows. One day he divulged that he had 2 years earlier been a stand-up. I didn't know what to do. I was ashamed for him. My husband...
I guess I'm not.
Your attempts to steal did not
All
succeed.
three. It's hard to steal from sleeping, I guess.
Yeah, they're pretty good at hiding their
Quit
equipment.
breathing on me. It's gross.
Yucky. Oh, you can fuse that blind with your other blind.
Yeah, but I didn't... I wish it would automatically fuse when you stepped over it, if it could.
They do in other games.
But shouldn't this one too?
Let's see here.
It's a monster house!
The only thing that would possibly be worth it is the equipment, but...
And the experience.
Well, I mean, you gotta keep in mind now that you're down pretty much all of your potions.
Yeah, just leave instead. Man, Thief is not bad. Status effects, you know.
Plus, I really like the bandana. It's super adorable.
You just gotta take that hit. So this dragon is weird. Oh, he does have legs. Okay, his tail is just weird. by his shirt.
Um,
This dragon was still asleep for a bit.
but I was ashamed for him. My husband has never felt my dry spot. When I begged him to touch my personal desert, he said no way. His taste in erotica, let's just say it referenced Eraserhead a lot of the time. Then he left me. He smiled and said he was struggling with some 80,000 essays on the history of Yiddish. He had secretly become Jewish. Secretly. He said he would write
I
to...
found I threw a high potion. I don't think it was from
You threw one at him?
Yeah, it was the wiggly drink. I threw it at him because I was desperate. It was a high potion. Goodbye.
Bye. You need to find more of those. Or buy them.
Oh, wait.
He said he would write to me from his new apartment upstairs. He said he wanted a big brother and I just was... He said he wanted a big brother and I just wasn't that. Yeah, Logo liked the Tale of Two Dennies.
Oh, yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah, he wanted a big brother and I just wasn't that. I realized that my happiness depended so much on his secondhand couch and coffee table. I wanted to keep them, but they didn't want to stay. That's the way it goes in a relationship that stopped being. It's just sadness because she couldn't keep the coffee table and couch.
Oh, it's a tragedy to her.
When I think back on it, especially after learning that his ex is very terrified of nitrogen, I see I see how we didn't entirely relate. He needed to always be selfish about the kinky pink sweatpants.
Kinky pink?
Yes.
Oh, I like it.
I liked staring out at the university doctor who would sleep in the front yard.
As doctors are wanting to
It's
do.
a common thing. A relationship is like a pillow. You're supposed to keep it in the laundry room. Hide it behind blankets, and when they ask how long before the other partner feels obligated to make clear that that this is really annoying, say, that is for me to feel out. It was a difficult thing to understand, but love is a big kidney bean in a strange pot of soup. Love is when we both cry at lawyers. Love is deeper and more mysterious than my womb.
Love is pretty weird.
Sometimes I go back to that long bar and quietly stare at football on the TV while politely breaking down.
Alright, so you have these bronze towns that blind things and are also on fire.
Good. The tears...
And blindness is clearly really nice. As long as it's not on you.
Yeah. The tears begin, but when I remember the moment we met, I feel like a Kentucky Buddhist. I can swear I hear coyotes raising a child in the kitchen. And that is the story of romance, according to Botnick. Here are romantic ideas for going on dates by Botnick.
By robot?
No, by Robotnik is what I was going to say. It's just Dr. Robotnik. He just writes these things when he's
Bored.
drunk. Romantic ideas to go for dates. Boat or canoe. Bring your partner to the water and walk around the boat place asking boat or canoe. If they can get it right, then that's bad.
If they get it right, that's bad?
Yeah, it's like bolded. Boat or canoe. If they can't get it right, then that's bad.
It's still funny.
Go to a hot zoo. The warm animals will make you laugh for hours as you and your date experience nature as it should never be seen.
What does that mean?
Visit the sunrise.
No.
If you're looking for a romantic morning, why not sleep? Sun nerds love
Sun nerds?
Yes, sun nerds love the end of the night because it's the start of a new day. But anyone can enjoy the warm colors and fancy light. Bring sunscreen. Go watch other couples fight. Oh, Jesus. Go watch other couples fight. You and your partner will love to see the other lovers tango with their face instruments. Grab a blanket and cheer for the person who was actually right this whole time.
Boat or canoe?
Attend open houses and roast the place. You can find a few on the street where you live and talk about the couch and go off on the floor. Look for your backyard. If you're both dying to know exactly where your own backyard is, just make a day of it. Your backyard can be the perfect spot to unveil a pumpkin carved to look like your date's golf swing.